You ever sit somewhere fancy, surrounded by crystal glasses and waiters who whisper your name like it's a secret, but feel like the loneliest guy in the room? That was me, Ethan Caldwell, at this upscale joint called Marigold's in Brooklyn, nursing a glass of red I didn't even want, my tie too tight, my life too quiet. Then this kid, this tiny hurricane named Lila, maybe 7, with pigtails and a dress that swallowed her frame, walks right up and says, "Mister, you look like you're carrying the whole world in your pockets, and it's heavy." I froze, fork midair, my brain scrambling to process this pint-sized philosopher calling me out in a room full of suits. I'm a guy who built a tech empire, Caldwell Solutions. Maybe you've heard of it. Lost my voice in a wreck 10 years back, and learned to live behind a wall of silence and sharp suits. Nobody talks to me like that, not anymore, but Lila? She didn't care about my bank account or my notepad scribbles. She plopped down, stole a breadstick, and said, "My grandma taught me sign language 'cause she couldn't talk after her stroke, so I get ittery quiet, but you're loud inside." I didn't know whether to laugh or tell her to scram, but something in her eyes, so fearless, made me stay put. Those Thursday nights at Marigold's became our thing. Lila, her sketchbook, and me, the guy who forgot how to connect. Her mom, Nora, a waitress with a spine of steel and a smile she rationed like it cost her, wasn't thrilled at first. She'd hover, arms crossed, watching me like I was a puzzle with missing pieces. "Lila doesn't need another person to let her down," she told me once, her voice low, like she was daring me to prove her wrong. I got it. Single mom, tough life, a kid who saw too much. But Lila, she'd draw me with storm clouds over my head, then add a sun the next week, saying, "You're getting better at not being sad." And damn if that didn't hit me harder than any boardroom deal. Then the shadows showed up. Jake, Lila's deadbeat dad, slinking back like a fox smelling money. He wasn't after Nora or Lila. He wanted a piece of me, thinking he could sell some trashy story about the billionaire and the kid to a gossip site. I saw him once, outside Nora's building, leaning against a beat-up Chevy, his smirk all teeth and no soul. "You think you're her hero, huh?" he sneered, stepping too close. I didn't flinch, just signed, slow and sharp, "You left her." "I'm just here." Guess which one she remembers. His face twisted, and he backed off, but I knew he wasn't done. Nora told me about Jake's threats, how he'd spin lies to drag her through court, claim he had rights. I wasn't having it. I called in my guy, Marcus, a PI who could find dirt on a saint. We dug up Jake's past fraud, debts, even a shady loan from some lowlife crew. I didn't want blood. I wanted him gone. So, I met him in an empty lot, handed him a check, and signed, "Take this, disappear, or I make sure every door in this city slams in your face." He took the money, eyes flickering with something like shame, and drove off into the night. But the real fight wasn't Jake, it was me, learning to let people in. Lila gave me a toy piano one night, this cheap plastic thing, and said, "You used to play, right? Try again." I hadn't touched keys since the accident, but I pressed one, then another, and felt something crack open inside. Nora started trusting me, too, letting me walk Lila to school, her hand in mine, her chatter filling my silence. We built a community art studio, Bright Haven, where kids like Lila could paint their dreams. Opening night, I stood on a makeshift stage, my voice a rusty whisper, and said, "This is for the ones who feel unheard." The crowd clapped, not for me, but for Lila's mural, a hawk with wings made of kids' fingerprints, watching over us all. Now, here's the thing: Jake's gone, but shadows linger. Someone's sniffing around my foundation, old allies turning greedy, and I'm wondering if trust is ever safe. What do you think? Can a man like me, who built walls higher than his skyscrapers, really keep a kid and her mom safe? Drop a comment. Tell me when's the last time someone saw through your silence, and what did you do about it? Hit that like button if this hit you, and subscribe for more stories.